The telly flickered, and for a second everything was silent. I remember thinking it was just another dodgy connection. We lived on an old corn farm after all. But then the screen went to static, the buzzing filling the room like a swarm of bees, and I got up, muttering about needing to fix the damn thing. Just as I smacked the TV, the lights cut out, plunging us all into pitch black. My heart pounded and I heard a small scream, one of the kids. Little Tom and Lucy were huddled up on the couch, their faces barely visible in the darkness. And just then, our old dog, Duke, started to growl, low and menacing, his eyes fixed on the back glass door. I peered out into the blackness beyond the glass, trying to see what had set him off, just endless rows of corn rustling slightly in the night breeze, but nothing else. "Duke, quiet!" I hissed, but he didn't listen, his eyes locked on something I couldn't see. "Must have been a power cut," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I fumbled around for some candles, lighting them and setting them on the table. The dim glow filled the room, and we all took a deep breath, settling back in our seats. I was about to reassure everyone when a sound cut through the quiet, a loud, dull thud coming from upstairs. We all froze, every head turning toward the ceiling. The kids clutched each other, wide-eyed, and my wife, Sarah, looked at me, her face pale in the candlelight. I forced a grin, hoping to ease everyone's nerves. "It's probably just the pipes or something," I said, though I could hear the doubt in my own voice. "Stay here, I'll go check it out." I grabbed a torch and headed up the stairs, my heart pounding louder with each step. The old wooden boards creaked beneath me as I moved down the hall, peeking into each room. Nothing seemed out of place, just the usual dark, empty rooms. I checked the kids' room, our bedroom, even the tiny attic hatch above. All quiet, all empty. Satisfied that it was nothing, I made my way back downstairs, already thinking up a story about the wind rattling the windows or some nonsense to calm everyone down. But as I reached the living room, I froze. Standing there, right up against the glass door, was something I'll never forget. A tall, grey figure, its skin smooth and stretched over a thin, bony frame. Its head was large, with black, glassy eyes that reflected the dim candlelight. It was staring right at us, almost blending into the night. A strangled scream escaped my throat, and the whole family whipped around to see what I was looking at. But by the time they turned, the thing had moved, slipping away into the shadows outside. What did you see?" Sarah asked, voice trembling, and I couldn't answer. My mind was racing, trying to make sense of it. I didn't know what I'd seen. I didn't want to believe what I'd seen. "Get up," I managed to say, my voice shaking as I forced myself to stay calm. "We're leaving now, just get up." Everyone obeyed, too scared to argue, and just as Sarah grabbed the kids' hands, another thud echoed through the house, this time louder, followed by a series of sharp clicking noises. It sounded like nails scraping across the walls, coming from upstairs again. Duke went berserk, barking and growling, tearing up the stairs in a frenzy. I tried to call him back, but he vanished into the darkness, his barks echoing through the empty rooms above. For a few seconds he barked like he was possessed, then silence, no bark, no growl, nothing, just dead silence. Then he appeared at the top of the stairs, tail tucked between his legs, slinking down and cowering in the corner, his eyes wide with terror. "Dad," whispered Tom, clinging to Sarah's arm. He was trying to be brave, but I could see the fear in his eyes. And then we heard it. Footsteps, slow coming down the stairs, each one creaking louder than the last. Something was coming. Before I could think, the front door groaned open, though no one was near it, and in the dim light I saw another figure standing just beyond the doorway, watching us. Its eyes were dark, endless voids that seemed to suck in all the light around them, and a faint smell, metallic and sour, filled the room. Behind us, from the shadows near the door, another figure emerged, and then another, circling us slowly, their steps silent. They moved closer, their towering forms surrounding us, eyes glinting with something almost curious. I held my breath, too terrified to move, too terrified even to think. We were trapped. One of them raised a long, thin arm, its fingers stretching out in the dim candlelight, almost touching Lucy. She clung to Sarah, both of them paralyzed with terror. My body screamed to do something, to protect my family, but I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. Then, without warning, a blinding white light filled the room, pouring in from outside. It was so bright I had to shield my eyes, and when I finally dared to open them, the room was empty. The creatures were gone. The room was still and silent, as if they had never been there at all. And then I noticed The silence wasn't quite complete. "Where's Tom?" Sarah's voice was barely a whisper, her face stricken with horror. She looked around frantically, calling his name, but the empty room swallowed her words. Tom was gone. We searched the whole house, every room, every cupboard, every corner. We tore through the yard, combing through the cornfields, calling his name until our voices were hoarse. But there was nothing. No trace, no sound, no sign that he had ever been there. Just the faint smell of something metallic in the air, and the flickering of the television screen crackling with static in the corner like nothing had ever happened at all.